Hi, I'm Sarah Frescott, Executive Director of BioQuest and one of the co-facilitators of this Adapt and Implement Faculty Mentoring Network. This FMN brought together an exceptional group of chemistry faculty who adapted modules from the American Chemical Society Green Chemistry Institute's module project and put them into action in their own classrooms. Participants thoughtfully tailored these resources to fit their students, courses, and institutional contexts, and then tested, refined, and reflected on what worked. Today, we're excited to hear directly from them about how they adapted these materials, what they learned through implementation, and what insights they would share with others looking to bring green chemistry into their teaching.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Woodbridge. I am a professor at Georgia Gwinnett College, and this is my second year in this faculty mentoring network. I could probably talk for an hour, but I won't. There's so many great things about this network. Responses of students to the content, that it's interesting. You have an opportunity to mentor and be mentored. You have an accountability group of accountability partners, and that's really great. However, this is really the only standing meeting that I have that I actually look forward to going to. I learn from my colleagues. I'm inspired by my colleagues. I leave here wanting to do the work. I'm terribly grateful to all of the people that I've worked with on this project, both this year and last year. And I do have to say that we all owe a tremendous debt to Sarah and David. They are not leaders who just put their name on something for a line on their CV. They're down in the trenches working with us, and they work to inspire us all, I think, to do better. Okay? Their passion for green chemistry cannot be questioned, and this has been a great group to be a part of. I hope to see you next year.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kathleen Halligan, and I'm a professor at York College of Pennsylvania. I selected the aldehyde ketone module to adapt and implement into my spring Organic 2 class. This experience has been fantastic. I've been able to bounce my teaching ideas regarding introduction of green and sustainable chemistry, as well as embedding the UN SDGs off my fellow group members, mentors, and move forward with the design and implementation of my plans for next semester. Just to give you an idea of some of my specific plans, I'm working on adapting a sodium borohydride reduction example from one of the worksheets as an introductory case study for green metrics during lecture, where students will be working in groups. Also, I'm working on expanding the retinoids SOCME problem from one of the module homework assignments to include organic process and synthesis considerations, and do this construction as a workshop and lecture. And then finally, one of the big things I also want to do is model one of the exam questions from the resources as a template for a mini project where students will present their work in a video. They're going to make and defend a variety of green chemistry and UN SDG-based decisions related to synthetic step involving aldehydes or ketones. Finally, the diversity of experience within this group has been invaluable. If given the opportunity, I would definitely sign up for another round. Thank you so much to David, LaVisca, Sarah Prescott, all of our mentors, and everyone in this FMN. This has been my favorite Friday meeting of the semester.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bruce Kowatic, Associate Professor and General Life Sciences Laboratory Manager at Blue Ridge Community and Technical College in Martinsburg, West Virginia, in the U.S. And I am going to be implementing the hydrocarbons, fuels, and feedbacks module, but I'm also thinking of also implementing aldehydes, ketones, ethers, alcohols, etc., and really intersperse them into my General Organic and Biochem 2 class beginning this spring in the around the 20th of January. And I hope to introduce the students to various concepts, right, that are encompassed by green chemistry, such as sustainability. And I'm going to use my lecture adaptation and reinforce the learning objectives that are presented in some of the modules, and also present my students with safety data sheets, determine if the materials under consideration may be considered as good green materials. And the resources that I'm going to use from these various modules include the lecture materials, such as the slides, various activities, assignments, and assessments. So, as I mentioned, the module material is going to be alternated. I'm planning right now to do basically sort of 1 week of my usual material, 1 week of the green material, and kind of go back and forth that way throughout the semester. And really assess things at the beginning with the students as more of a turning in assignments for completeness sake, and possibly even going to group projects uh, to first get them familiar with it and get everyone kind of comfortable with things. So even though I haven't implemented it yet, I do, thanks to our meetings, have a pretty good idea of the outcomes that I hope to see. And again, this includes students' understanding of the concepts, right, that are going to be presented through through objective means, such as the tests, quizzes, etc., as I mentioned, but also subjective, right, and that I can gauge their understanding through discussions, reflections, journals, etc. So I've really appreciate the help of this group. They've instilled in me that I really should, not be hesitant with implementing, this module or even perhaps several modules. Their feedback has been wonderful and encouraged me greatly as I move forward with implementing my plan. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Adalgisa Batista from the Pontifical Catholic University of Puerto Rico. I'm professor of organic chemistry and coordinator of the organic chemistry in the university. I was adopting the solvent selection for SN2 and SN1 green and sustainable chemistry module for organic chemistry 1. The implementation was the last November. My focus was helping a student identify SN1 versus SN2 mechanism, drawing arrow pushing states, understand stereochemistry, stereochemical outcomes, and connect solvent properties like dielectric constant and hydrogen bonding to reaction preference and sustainability. To reinforce this objective, I incorporate frequent short class response question and think, pair, and share prompts through the lecture slides. My main adoption was adapting or adding complex rich real problem, especially biochemical synthesis using SN1, SN2, and green chemistry decision making. Assignment will include or was included a brief case where a student analyzed reaction condition and solvent sustainability. Because students are Spanish speaking, I also provide bilingual supplemental materials to support accessibility and comprehension. Assessment included formative question and summary problems in which a student classify SN1 and SN2 and evaluate the sustainability of two different solvents. Thank you all. It has been a great learning during this process.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Inka Brown from the University of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica. And I chose to adapt a section of the amines in pharmaceutical synthesis module and integrate it into an elective organic chemistry course that's done by finalizing students. That course is Chem 3213, Applications of Organic Chemistry in Medicine and Agriculture. And this year, the class had 9 members who are a mixture of chemistry and biochemistry majors. I used some of the slides from the green chemistry module and then supplemented with videos and some journal articles to better link the module and the course content. The students responded very well to this addition to the course, and we had really good discussions on how the synthesis of various medicines and agrochemicals intersect with environmental health, with safety, with sustainability. And I think their main takeaway was that these conversations need to be happening at all levels. And that, there's a lot of nuance and a lot of factors to consider in determining whether a process is green. Really appreciate being part of the FMN. It was my first time joining. And everyone was supportive and generous with sharing their ideas and their tips and their experiences. And it has made me more confident in, incorporating green chemistry in my teaching. And I hope to try it again next semester when I meet with my first year students. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Humberto Milagre. I'm an associate professor at São Paulo State University. I would like to share my experience in the Faculty Mentoring Network. It was a great experience that helped me integrate green chemistry in my organic chemistry classes. I learned new teaching strategies, exchanged ideas, and most important, applied what we discussed directly in my classroom. In my organic chemistry courses, I implemented the pericyclic reaction module, where I connect the sustainability, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and the 12 principles of green chemistry. The student response was fantastic. They were motivated, curious, and excited to see how organic chemistry is connected to real-world challenges. This approach helps the students see organic chemistry not just a collection of reactions, but a discipline closely connected to sustainability in real-world issues. Another very important positive aspect in the FMN was a strong sense of community, where we share our experience. As next step, I plan to include green chemistry metrics such as PMI, and possibly develop a small student project focused on designing more sustainable synthetic holds. Overall, participating of FMN was an excellent, inspiring experience. I feel more confident, more motivated, and better prepared to teach organic chemistry in a more and sustainable way.
Okay, hello, my name is Rinat Katmolin, and I'm at Middle Georgia State University, originally from the small country in Central Asia, which is called Uzbekistan. I'm teaching organic chemistry courses at Middle Georgia State University, and mainly we have biology majors who are required to take organic chemistry courses. I don't have to tell you this horror stories that biology major students tell each other about how irrelevant organic chemistry might be for them. But coming to the ACS Faculty Mentoring Network on Green Chemistry was truly an eye-opening experience. Often our students that are in our classroom would like material to be relevant, and it has to be relevant to the major that we're enrolled in and to the current goals and needs, not just of our nation, but also the entire world. So green chemistry and green chemistry methods are essential, and students really appreciated systems thinking approach that I was fortunate enough to learn about at FMN here and utilize in my fall 2025 chemistry course that I taught. My students found it to be relevant. We were thinking about solvents that they have been using in organic chemistry lab, and overall, this was yet short but very good experience for both my students and me. So I'm planning to continue utilizing the resources that I received through FMN. Truly fantastic, wonderful people, and from all over the world. Many are very experienced, and if you're just planning to join FMN next year, and if you have a very limited experience, then have no fear, because it's a very, very friendly group that is going to help you at the end of the day to get better. And so with that, I want to thank my wonderful group, our mentors, and I'm looking forward to staying connected through the group and also ACS GCI. Thank you all.
Hi everyone, I'm Flavia Sacconi, Associate Professor from UC Chile in South America. And being part of the ACS Faculty Mentoring Network has been one of the most transformative experiences of my academic life. What the ACS is building with this program, a truly global, supportive, and purpose-driven community, is extraordinary. Even for those of us working far from the US, the FMN has created a space where distance disappears and where generosity, collaboration, and meaningful connections become the norm. This is my second year here, I advanced the work I began last year by fully implementing system thinking across two courses, Green Chemistry and Green Engineering, and Innovation Entrepreneurship. In both courses, students engage with simplified system maps, feedback loops, and unintended consequences, connecting these tools with the 12 principles of green chemistry. The impact, in fact, was remarkable. Students developed prototypes, team proposals, and pitches that reflected a deep understanding of sustainability, innovation, and green design. And many of them had never encountered system thinking before. So, yet they embraced it with creativity and commitment, demonstrating how powerful these tools can be when they are integrated early and intentionally. This progress, in fact, will not have been possible without the FMN group. The structure, the resources, and especially the conversations with colleagues from so many countries helped me refine my approach and expand my vision for chemical education. Meeting many of you in person, first at the ACIS conference and then hosting several of you in Chile, was incredibly meaningful. It made the community feel real, alive, and truly global. I want to express my deep gratitude to Sarah and David for their thoughtful, warm, clear leadership, remarkable energy every Friday, encouragement, and vision. Thank you both for guiding us with such care. To the entire SCS FMN group, thank you for inspiring me, supporting me, and reminding me that educational transformation always begins with people. This year reaffirmed something essential. When we teach with purpose, community, and collaboration, we don't just transform our classrooms, we transform ourselves. And this is the most important thing I see, becoming catalysts for a more sustainable, inclusive, and forward-thinking future for chemistry. Finally, FMN is more than a network. I always like to say that it is a living ecosystem of people who believe education can change the world, and it is an honor to be part of this journey. And I look forward to continuing to grow together.
Hello, all. This is Justin Orlando, and I'm an assistant professor of chemistry from St. Louis Community College Wildwood in St. Louis, Missouri. I was super stoked at the opportunity to come back again for a second round with the FMN program, and the goal this time around was to go deeper into the work that I began in FMN 2425. My FMN work last year involved incorporating for the first time the gas law module into my one section of General Chemistry 1. At that time, I had little to no experience working with systems thinking, SOCMEs, and UN SDGs. I was passingly familiar with the concepts individually, but I never formally incorporated them into my teaching. The greatest challenge was reworking my materials to incorporate these components, not merely include them, and simultaneously not lose the storyline my materials were written to tell. This took the form of pushing the thermochemistry unit before gases, making gases the last stoichiometry unit proper, thus allowing me to wrap up the idea of stoichiometry by showing how all the little decisions in our chemical systems have a non-trivial implication for the surroundings than maybe we initially thought. Notes were modified and a classroom board activity were the result. While that was enough to get my foot in the door, it wasn't as far as I wanted to go. This fall, I took my previously modified materials and went much deeper into SOCME generation than before, improved my explanations, improved the board activity, and kind of Frankenstein the lab exploration activity from the provided module materials to take place for our not so great gases lab. The activity explored how making routine synthetic changes to optimize the Haber-Bosch process, even greener choices, can have unforeseen consequences when viewed through a systems thinking lens. My students love the activity. I had a blast working with them on it. And I, again, loved working with my FMN colleagues. Everyone here is passionate about education, green chemistry, and updating the chemistry curriculum to meet 21st century needs. I am beyond grateful to David, Sarah, the ACS GCI, and everyone here for taking the time to work together, be so welcoming and so warm. And I hope our work will continue for many semesters to come. Thank you all.
Well, thank you to Sarah Prescott, first and foremost, but also to all of the instructors in the fall 2025 FMN cohort for everything you have done to ensure its success. This FMN has been running weekly since September, and participants have generated a variety of curricular materials we will be sharing with the broader community over the coming months. I am David LaVisca, and I represent the American Chemical Society Green Chemistry Institute as its portfolio manager for green chemistry and sustainability in education. This FMN initiative is one of many mechanisms we are employing to support instructors as they reimagine the ways they teach chemistry in higher education. This fall 2025 FMN is the fourth we've run over the last 18 months, and we anticipate this will be a continuing initiative through the spring of next year, 2026, and beyond. The main goal has been to bring together chemistry instructors to brainstorm, create, and publish curricular resources inspired by the ACS GCI Green Chemistry Teaching Modules project, which was begun in 2021. Through these FMNs, instructors meet periodically and share best practices for effective pedagogy in the classroom, laboratory, and across the sciences more broadly. You've heard many aspects of this mechanism described eloquently today by the current cohort of instructors. In addition to creating shareable, open access teaching resources, we are also training FMN participants to be facilitators for similar initiatives and act as mentors to their colleagues and other instructors who want to modernize their curricula and better prepare students for their future careers. We hope you will consider joining us for the spring 2026 FMN or another future cohort. Please feel encouraged in the meantime to dig into our curricular resources and join the conversation. We want you to add your voice, your perspective, and your experience to the growing movement shaping the future of chemistry instruction built around green and sustainable chemistry principles. We look forward to collaborating with you soon.